People rarely repeat habits because logic alone told them to. Welcome back. The second law of atomic habits is make it attractive. And that phrase matters because behavior is not driven only by what is useful. It is driven by what feels appealing in the moment. You can know something is good for you and still avoid it. You can know something is destructive and still reach for it. Desire is the bridge between knowledge and action, which means habits get stronger when the brain learns to look forward to them. Clear starts with dopamine because the anticipation of reward is often what moves us. People like to imagine they act when the reward arrives, but much of behavior is launched by the expectation of reward. The craving is not the thing itself. It is the imagined shift in state. Relief, status, pleasure, progress, belonging, stimulation, calm. That distinction matters because habits are not pursued for their own sake. No one wants the cigarette itself in some abstract vacuum. They want the feeling they associate with it. No one wants the workout only as mechanical repetition. They want energy, strength, pride, or progress. We chase the change in feeling the habit promises. This is why temptation bundling works. Pair something you need to do with something you want to do. Listen to a favorite podcast only while walking. Watch a show only while folding laundry or using the treadmill. Make the desirable thing a companion to the useful thing. The point is not manipulation in a sinister sense. The point is to let the brain associate the routine with something it already enjoys. Clear is also realistic about social influence. Human beings are herd-sensitive creatures. We imitate the close, the many, and the powerful. We learn norms from family, friends, peers, and culture long before we call those norms habits. If everyone around you treats late-night drinking, reactive phone use, or constant busyness as normal, those behaviors gain social gravity. If your circle values reading, training, reflection, or craftsmanship, those behaviors start to look natural. That is why belonging matters so much in behavior change. People do not only want the outcome of a habit, they want the identity and membership that can come with it. A person joins a running group, and suddenly the behavior is not just cardio. It is participation in a tribe. A person studies in a group where focus is normal and concentration feels less lonely. Social proof turns friction down. This can be used badly or well. Culture can normalize habits that hollow people out. It can also normalize discipline, honesty, and standards that lift people. Clear's point is not simply choose better friends like a fortune cookie slogan. His point is that the environment of desire is social. If you live in a setting where the good behavior is admired and the bad behavior is inconvenient or embarrassing, behavior starts changing almost sideways. The book also suggests something very practical. Reframe habits around what they enable rather than what they demand. Instead of saying, I have to meditate, say, I get to build a calmer mind. Instead of I have to budget, say, I get to buy freedom later. Instead of I have to practice, say, I get to become competent. This is not fake positivity. It is an attempt to highlight the benefit your brain is overlooking when it fixates on immediate discomfort. Clear then flips the law for breaking bad habits. If you want to reduce a behavior, make it unattractive. Highlight the cost. Stop romanticizing the indulgence and start naming the consequence. The sugar rush is followed by the crash. The procrastination protects comfort now, but creates panic later. The impulsive purchase feels exciting for 5 minutes and heavy for 5 weeks. The bad habit survives partly because the mind edits the bill. This is why many self-destructive routines continue under polite euphemisms. Doom scrolling becomes staying informed. Overwork becomes ambition. Constant checking becomes being responsive. Mindless spending becomes treating yourself. Clear keeps dragging the behavior back into view. What is the habit actually costing you? Time? Energy? Self-trust? Sleep? Attention? Money? Respect for your own priorities? The second law becomes especially interesting here because it shows that attraction is trainable. You can make a good habit feel more appealing by pairing it with pleasure, social approval, identity, or visible progress. You can weaken a bad habit by making its real cost emotionally vivid rather than intellectually abstract. Notice how much of this still depends on design, not self-scolding. If the workout playlist is ready, if the reading chair is comfortable, if the study ritual begins with something enjoyable, if the cooking setup feels less miserable, the behavior's emotional profile changes. Attraction is often built from the small rituals surrounding the habit, not only from the habit itself. This is important because many people sabotage consistency by making every good habit feel like punishment. The work is chaotic. The timing is inconvenient. The environment is ugly. The setup is rushed. Then they wonder why the behavior never feels natural. You do not need to make every good habit luxurious, but you should stop making the right thing unnecessarily joyless. There is also an identity angle again. A habit becomes more attractive when it aligns with a version of yourself you respect. If reading feels like evidence that you are becoming thoughtful, if training feels like proof that you are someone who follows through, if saving money feels like the posture of a future-focused adult, then the habit starts carrying emotional meaning beyond the task itself. At the same time, Clear quietly warns about the emotional pull of bad habits. They often offer quick certainty. Stimulation now. Relief now. Escape now. Recognition now. That is why good habits need not only moral superiority, but emotional credibility. They need to feel like a compelling path, not a dull lecture. The second law, therefore, asks a sharp question. What does your brain currently find attractive, and why? Is the appeal coming from pleasure, convenience, identity, belonging, escape, or avoidance? Until you can answer that honestly, behavior change stays shallow. You may remove one habit only to recreate the same craving in a different costume. Thank you for being here for part 3. Next, we move into the third law, make it easy, where Clear becomes merciless about friction. We will look at motion versus action, the law of least effort, the 2-minute rule, and commitment devices that make your future self less able to sabotage the plan. Final close. Habits do not move only when they are sensible. They move when they feel desirable, social, and emotionally believable in the moment you're asked to act.